السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. النهاردة إن شاء الله هنبدأ مع بعض بيونت 12 الصف الأول ثانوي، وهناخد الفوكاب. نقول بسم الله ونشوف مع بعض الوحدة بتتكلم عن hard work زي ما انتم شايفين دلوقتي. What can you see in the photo? Look at the photograph and answer the questions. What can you see in the photo? Of course, we can see. So it's question 1. What can you see in the photographs? Of course, we can see what? Weaving machine. Yes. So a weaving machine. When do you think it is from? Now look at it again. You see, it's old. So it may be from the 16th, 17th, or 18th, or even 19th century. Okay. So as we see here, I think it may be from the 19th century. Okay. Reading. Now, Silas Marner is a famous novel that was written by the English writer George Eliot and published in 1861. Read the summary of the first part of the book. Who do you think stole Silas's gold? Why? Discuss in pairs. Of course, let's read it quickly before we look at the question. Silas Marner. Silas Marner is a weaver who lives in the village of Ravelow in England. The other people in the village aren't very friendly to Silas because he is new to the village and he lives alone. 15 years earlier, Silas had been engaged to be married to a girl called Sarah. One day, while Silas was taking care of a friend who was sick, a bag of money disappeared from under the friend's bed. A man called William Dane finds the empty bag and Silas's friend decide that he is guilty of stealing the money. Later, William marries Sarah instead, and Silas decides to move to the village of Ravelow. The only thing he cares about is his work as a weaver. All Silas wants to do is to work as hard as he can to earn as much money as he can. The richest man in Ravelow, Squire Case, has two sons, Dunstan and Godfrey. The two sons have their own problems which they hide from their father, and they always want to have more money. One night, a bag of gold is stolen from Silas's house, and the whole village joins in to look for it. The local people feel sorry for him and are more friendly to him. Silas is angry and he wants to solve the mystery. Now let's look at exercise number 2. Use these words to complete the definitions. Disappear, it is the opposite of appear. Guilty, the opposite of innocent. Mystery, غموض. Okay, solve, engage, and weaver. A is something unknown. Of course, it is a mystery. A space person did something bad. A guilty person. Number 3. To space something is to find the answer. To solve is to find the answer. Number 4. A is a person who makes cloth. A weaver. To space is to become impossible to find. Disappear. To be space is to be in a relationship, to get married. Engaged. Now let's look at exercise 3. Read the summary, answer the questions. Why aren't the people in the village of Ravelow friendly to Silas? He is new to the village and he lives alone. Why did Silas come to Ravelow? To work and live peacefully. What is the most important thing in Silas's life in Ravelow? Of course, it is to work hard. What happens to Silas after the gold is stolen from him? He was angry. Forget about exercise number 5, which is listening, and go to exercise number 6. Discuss these questions in pairs. Do you think Silas was right to leave the village? And why? Of course we said yes. Why? To start a new life. Do you think Silas was right to work hard and to work day and night? And why? He wants to have lots of money. Yes, I think he was right. Are people today worried about machines taking their jobs? Yes, of course, as they won't find jobs themselves. Now, of course you can see this is a part of a town. And these are some attached houses. Why? What do you remember about Silas Marner? Of course you remember that he was a weaver. What do you think will happen next? I can't guess. Let's find out. Read and find out. Before we start. Okay, one evening, let's read it first. One evening, Silas returns to his cottage and finds a small girl sleeping under the fireplace. Sorry. Okay, sleeping under the fireplace. The girl is cold and hungry. Silas thinks something must have happened to her parents. They might have been, or they might have had an accident. He decides to look after her. He calls her Eppie. The other people in the village are surprised, but they think that Silas can be a bad man because he wants to look after the girl. They also help him. Silas is now happier. He realizes that his new daughter is more important to him than gold. When Eppie is 18, Silas's gold is found and returned to him. It was Dunstan who took the money all those years ago because he didn't want to ask his father for money. Guthrie is sorry about what his brother did and thinks Silas must be angry with him. He and his wife offer to look after Eppie. However, Eppie wants to stay with Silas. Silas decides to return to his old village with Eppie. He wants to prove that he wasn't guilty of stealing all those years earlier. When he arrives, he finds that everything has changed and he can't find anyone that he used to know. Of course, this line can be read. Unpleasant part of his story, of his history, yes, and he returns happily to Rivlo. Anyway, let's try to answer the questions. Question 1. What do you remember about Silas Marner? He was hardworking. What do you think will happen next? I think they will live happily ever after. Exercise number 2. True or false? Silas spends less time thinking about money because he has Eppie. Of course, this is true. Squire Case's son, Guthrie, stole Silas's money. Of course, this is false. It was his brother. Okay. Eppie goes to live with Guthrie and his wife. No, false. She prefers to live with her new father. Okay, Silas Marner. Silas returns to his old village and shows everyone he knew that he didn't steal the gold. Of course, this is false because he didn't find anyone he knows. How did the people in the village know that Silas was a good person, as he was a hard worker? Why do you think Silas was happier with Eppie in his life, as he had no one else to live with? Do you think that Silas was right to run away from his village and then come back after so many years? Yes, I think so. Now, let's read 2 reviews of Silas Marner, which reader liked the book here. The first one is Ismail. I had to read Silas Marner when I was at school and I didn't enjoy it very much then. However, I've just finished reading it again and I liked it a lot more. It's a long book, although it isn't as long as Eliot's other books. The pace was quite fast and the plot is full of surprises. I couldn't stop reading because I really wanted to know what was going to happen to these wonderful characters. I'd recommend this book to anyone who enjoys mystery stories. The pace is quite fast. Okay, so the plot is full of surprises. The characters are wonderful. Okay, now let's look at Nadia. This is very interesting story of a sad and lonely man who finds happiness when he adopts a girl. It's not a page turner, but I like the way Eliot used the theme of community. She shows us how some people like Silas can feel like they don't belong to their community, but the events can bring them back into it. However, I think the novel is too long. The story of Silas Marner might have worked better as a short story rather than a novel. Now, let's find, do you like mysteries? Yes, I do. Do you know about any famous mysteries? Yes, I know lots of mysteries. Okay, so read the story first and then what happened to the goal? What happened to the goal? Last week, 3 people, John, Jake and Jane, found gold in an abandoned warehouse. They agreed to share it equally. Jane found some boxes and put all the gold in one. John checked to see if anyone else was close. John and Jake took it to a house to divide it. Jane went to ensure they had bags for the gold. When she arrived, she opened the boxes, but it was full of stones and all the gold was gone. What happened to the gold? I think Jane had dropped the gold. This is one opinion. We don't know. Anyway, let's go to the language study definitions. Character. What do you mean by character? Okay, the character is a noun. These are people in the story. Imaginary people. Disappear. Oh my god. Where is... No, this is wrong. So here we don't have this. Okay, let's go to this word. Disappear. Disappear, to become impossible to find. Okay, engaged. Okay, engaged and be in a relationship to get married. And finally, guilty is a person who did something bad. Okay, sorry for that. Let's go back. Mystery is something unknown. Pace, this is how fast the story moves. Page turner is a book that is so exciting that you want to read it quickly. Plot, this is the idea or moral in the story, what we learn from the story. Okay, solve, to find the answer. Theme, this is a story of a book. Weaver, a person who makes cloth, sorry, not clothes. Collocations, break a rule or break law. Feel confused. Find happiness. Have an accident or have an argument with. Look like means resemble or look sad. Do practice. Good. Make notes. Solve crime or solve a problem. Take photos. Tell a story or win first place. Abandoned is the synonym or the meaning of deserted, mahur. Disappear means vanish. Disappear also means die out or die, become extinct, like animals, dinosaurs. Disappear means get lost or go missing. Mystery, okay, scarcity or ambiguity. Appear is the opposite of disappear. Disappear, the opposite of survive or live. Earlier, later. Guilty, innocent. Prove, disprove. Now, we have some expressions and some idioms with like this, with some of them with prepositions. Agree with. As long as BCE means before common era. Be or get engaged to. Be in a hurry. Okay. Be married to. Compared to. Disappear from under. Do something bad. Feel like. Feel sorry for. Find something unusual. Friendly to. Have a special skill. In the early years. It's beautiful to read. Keep the money for themselves. Live on a farm. Live on. Meet you for lunch. New to the village. Nobody knows. Rather than. Share it equally. Sure about and take care of. Friendly to. Full of surprises. Go wrong. Good at his job. Guilty of. Take care of and will never be the same again and work hard. Verb plus preposition. Agree to. Agree with. Ask for. Belong to. Bring back. Care about. Come back. Come from and come to. Disappear from earth. Look after. Manage to. Move to. Offer to. Plan to. Return to. Seem to. Stay with. Steal from and take to. We said that before. Okay, now we come to the prefixes des, re, and an. Disappear, review, and pleasant. Ist, est, ir or er, archaeologist, weaver, guilty. Now let's go to the word guilty. Guilty at or guilty about or guilty over means he had a feeling of guilt about not looking after his family. Guilt is a noun. He felt sorry for his guilt. Guilty is an adjective. He was guilty of stealing. لاحظ الفرق بين guilty about و for at. I felt guilty about not lending him the money he wanted. Guilty of. They were guilty of robbing. So they did the action themselves. Guilty or ridden. I don't know why are guilty ridden. Okay, you are not responsible for that. Mystery equal detective story. I like reading mysteries. Mystery is a noun. The crime is still a mystery. The police haven't solved it yet. B remained a mystery. Solve a mystery. Mystery is an adjective. I don't trust that who looks mystery. I don't trust that mystery man. Mysterious is also an adjective. I don't trust that who looks mysterious. Of course, you remember the first one here is wrong. I don't trust who looks mystery. No, so I don't like or I don't trust that mystery man. Okay, I don't trust that mysterious man. Pace. Pace, سرعة سير. The soldiers' pace was fast. Means they were moving fast. Pace is also a noun. Walk 10 paces and turn right. So here it's equal steps. Pace down. How fast is a plot? The pace of change in modern world is getting faster. Notice these expressions. At your own pace, the pace of change, pace of development or reform. Pacemaker. Okay, the doctor said my grandfather needed a pacemaker. منظم ضربات القلب. Plot. The plot of the film was exciting. Plot of the film was exciting. The plot is also noun. I have a small vegetable plot, so it means here a piece of land. Plot مدفن العائلة كمان. My grandfather bought his plot a short time before his death. Plot against يتآمر. There was a plot against the company to make it lose a lot of money. Plot against, he plotted to steal the safe of the supermarket, and they plotted against their manager. Weave ينسج. طبعا في Oriental weavers اللي هم النساجون الشرقيون. Oriental weavers. In our family, only my mother can weave. We woven. نجيب محفوظ wove the plot of this story professionally. ينسج القصة. Weaver. The job of weavers nearly disappeared because machines now do all the work. ملاحظات على الكلمات. لاحظ الفرق بين hard و hardly. hard لوحدها يعني صفة معنى الشيء جاد أو صعب أو قاسي. He is a hard worker. Mom does a lot of hard work. The driving test is hard to me. يعني very difficult. hard كظرف بمعنى شيء بشدة. He works hard. The bully بلطجي hit him hard on his head. hardly يعني بالكاد عاملة زي never. He hardly arrives on time. لاحظ الفرق بين clothes و cloth. cloth ده القماش نفسه. In the past cloth was made by weavers. بينما clothes وبتتنطق clothes مش clothes. Your clothes are fashionable أشرف. لاحظ الفرق بين look angry و look angrily. She looked angry after the meeting. يبقى دي adjective. بينما she looked angrily at me. نظرت بغضب. ده ظرف. لاحظ الفرق بين كلمة earlier و ago منذ مدة معينة حتى الآن. I visited the pyramids 3 months ago. بينما earlier Last Friday I found the money I lost 3 months earlier. لاحظ الفرق بين alone و lonely. تستخدم alone كظرف بمعنى بمفرده. She did the housework alone. تستخدم alone كصفة بمعنى وحيد. She was alone when the thieves attacked her. تستخدم lonely بمعنى منعزل أو شاعر بالوحدة. She was a lonely woman who with no one to look after her. لاحظ الفرق بين as long as. As long as في نفس طول. It's a long book although it isn't as long as محفوظ's other books. As long as I'll work with you as long as you pay me enough money. لاحظ عبارة الوصل اللي تبدأ what. The thing that. What do you do will affect your position. I didn't understand what he said. She listened to what the teacher said. لاحظ استخدام all كضمير بمعنى كل. All he wants to do is to earn enough money. الفعل بيجي بعدها مفرد. لاحظ استخدام whole كضمير بمعنى كل أو بأكمله. The whole trip الرحلة كلها was exciting. الفعل هنا برضو في المفرد. I spent the whole day working in the garden. لاحظ أفعال الإدراك التالية وطريقة بنائها للمفعول. يعني مثلا لما أقول لك الفاعل بيجي وراه hear أو notice أو see أو watch زائد المفعول. وبعد كده مصدر أو الفعل ing. I saw him take. يا إما I saw him taking the money. I hear a bird sing أو I hear a bird singing. برضو مفعول به زائد verb to be. hear seen noticed watched برضو المصدر أو الفعل ing. He was seen to take the money. He was seen taking the money. A bird is heard to sing. A bird is heard singing. Okay, now let's go to vocab study exercises. Number 1. In modern life, the of change is very fast. Of course, we have base, warehouse, مخزن, community, مجتمع, souvenir. طبعا أكيد the base. مجرى الأحداث. The space of this film is boring but the music is fantastic. Director مخرج، actor ممثل، plot الحبكة أو القصة ولا meme؟ طبعا plot. You won't be able to put such a down until you have finished it. يبقى مش هتقدر تسيب البيج turner down اللي هي قصة أخاذة ما تقدرش تسيبها إلا لما تخلصها. This story has a good A. It is the value of cooperation and teamwork. This story has a good theme. الموضوع بتاعها المغزى. He a his village and moved to Alexandria. He adopted يعني يتبنى. Abandoned ترك. Hid يختفي استخبى. وcalled ينادي أو يسمي. طبعا he abandoned ترك قريته and moved to Alexandria. You can buy amount of goods you need at this warehouse. محل ضخم. Work house اللي هو المنزل اللي بيبقى فيه عمل. Farm house مزرعة. Fashion house مكان بتاع الموضة. Weavers are good at النساجون بيبقوا دايما كويسين في ايه؟ wool صوف together to make cloth. Solving wool يحل disappearing اختفاء. Adopting يعني يتبنى ولا twisting يقدر يتني الوول طبعا twisting. In year 12 I have learned how to write a detailed book review مقالة أو موضوع expressing what we think of it. He didn't go to prison because his lawyer proved ما راحش السجن إن المحامي بتاعه أثبت that he was not guilty ليس مذنبا. This is an ancient A that has been happened. This is an ancient طبعا reality واقع truth حقيقة fact برضو حقيقة legend أسطورة يبقى this is an ancient legend that has never happened. Okay, number 11. Parents do everything they can يبقى الآباء يعملوا كل ما يقدروا عليه okay that their children get good education لضمان إن أولادهم بيتعلموا تعليم كويس. Ensure يعني يضمنوا. Adopt يتبنى. Abandon يترك وينسج. طبعا أكيد هتبقى ensure. I'm really A يبقى أنا فعلا A. I can't tell you what to do ما أقدرش أقول لك ماذا تستطيع أن تفعل. I'm really close قريب. Confused مرتبك. Abandoned يترك. ولوكال يعني محلي بالتأكيد هبقى I'm really confused يبقى أنا فعلا مرتبك. I can't tell you what to do. Some Indians بعض الهنود don't the dead ما بيعملوش في الموتى. They burn them بيحرقوهم instead بدلا من هذا. Base مجرى الأحداث. Engage يخطب. وearn يكسب فلوس. وbury يدفن يبقى بالتأكيد يبقى some Indians don't bury the dead يبقى لا يدفنون الموتى. I thought اعتقدت ان هو he lived to his family كنت بعتقد ان هو بيعيش من عائلته but actually حقيقي he moved to a faraway town الى مدينة بعيدة. يبقى معنى كده محتاج عكس far away محتاج عكس كلمة بعيد اللي هي قريب يبقى far بعيد يبقى مش هتديني المعنى. remote بعيد وclose قريب ودistant مسافة يبقى محتاج كلمة close طبعا. يبقى أنا اعتقدت he lived close to his family إنه كان قريب من عائلته but actually he moved far away down. I last met Ahmed yesterday. I had met him 5 years أو 5 days earlier. I hope you I hope you will find happiness. أتمنى إن أنت تجد السعادة after your marriage. All my cousins كل ولاد عمي in to help me عشان يساعدوني prepare for my wedding عشان أجهز الزفاف بتاعي. يبقى أكيد joined in يعني انضموا إلي. lie يرقد أو يكذب. forgot ينسى. recommend ينصح. In the past في الماضي it was easy for كان سهل على مين to attack ships مهاجمة السفن and take them اختطفوا السفن دي. على الأونرز على الملاك بتاعة السفن ولا البايرتس القراصنة. كابتنز اللي هم قائد السفن ولا كروز طاقم بتاع السفن طبعا على البايرتس. I don't like town's life واحد يقول أنا ما بحبش حياة المدينة. I prefer living in بفضل أعيش في الريف. الريف هنا which is quieter لأنه أهدى and more peaceful وأكثر سلاما. يبقى in city مدينة، the city المدينة، country يعني بلد أو the country الريف. طبعا الإجابة the country. I apologize أعتذر جدا for not answering your call إن أنا ما ردتش على المكالمة بتاعتك. I was taking a shower كنت باخد دش at that time في هذا الوقت. He reported the police قال للشرطة that his motorbike had been stolen. طبعا إن الموتور بايك أو الدراجة البخارية بتاعته سرقت. shaped يعني تشكلت، shared معنى تتناقل أو ناس تتشاركها مع بعضها. recommend ينصح. I my daughter Sama because it was the name of one of my polite and intelligent students. يبقى أنا عايز أقول إن أنا سميت بنتي سما لأن ده اسم واحد من الطلبة بتوعي المؤدبين والأذكياء. يبقى I called. told يخبر. adopted واحد يتبنى. abandon يترك. he was to a girl called سارة. عايز أقول إن هو كان مخطوب لبنت اسمها سارة. abandoned يعني يترك أو يهجر، ولا engaged يعني مخطوب. main شيء رئيسي، و strange غريب. طبعا engaged. I think it is not easy. أعتقد إنه ليس من السهل إن أنت تعمل في this problem هذه المشكلة أو المسألة. طبعا solve the problem يحل المسألة. bury يدفنها. disappear يختفي وينسج. طبعا أكيد solve. I think it's not easy. أعتقد إنه ليس من السهل to find to this problem. إنه ليس من السهل إن تجد الحل بقى. ما ينفعش أقول solve لأن solve ده فعل، يبقى أنا محتاج solution الحل نفسه. disappear يختفي، و disappearance الاختفاء. as long as you follow instructions طالما أنت بتتبع التعليمات you will be safe سوف تكون في أمان. as long as هنا معناها إيه؟ هل هي a long time ولا although ولا despite ولا if؟ طبعا بتساوي كلمة if. a long time وقت طويل، although على الرغم من، despite على الرغم من، و if إذا. the crime is still يبقى الجريمة ما زالت غامضة. and the criminal is still unknown والمجرم ليس معروفا حتى الآن. كلمة غموض هنا يعني mystery، بينما mysterious دي الصفة. وهنا ملاحظين في mystery. guilt ذنب نفسه الاسم، و guilty لا الصفة. the crime is still يبقى الجريمة ما زالت mysterious غامضة، يبقى أنا جبت هنا صفة بوصف بها الجريمة. and the criminal is still unknown. إيه هنا is to innocent بالنسبة ل innocent اللي هي بريء as earlier to later. earlier و later عكس بعض antonym، يبقى أنا محتاج antonym أو عكس أو opposite من innocent هي كلمة guilty مذنب. we all agree كلنا موافقين that most people who live in are simple and kind. مين اللي عايش في مكان بيبقى دايما بسيط وطيب؟ warehouses المستودعات أو المحلات الكبرى، weavers النساجون، villages في القرى، و villagers يبقى who live in villages واللي بيعيشوا في القرى. we all agree that most villagers هنا بقى معظم القرويين اللي عايشين are simple and kind. in the word review في كلمة review the prefix re الحرف الR والE هنا معناه إيه؟ أكيد بمعنى again. لما أقول play replay يعيد اللعبة أو الإعادة يعني again، ما هيش not ولا no ولا between. the people of this area decided to it years ago. يبقى الناس بتوع المنطقة دي قرروا يهجروا المدينة دي أو المنطقة دي. يهجر يعني abandon. confuse يربك. confused الصفة نفسها شخص مرتبك. abandoned طبعا هنا دي في الماضي أو ممكن بمعنى صفة مهجور، لكن هنا محتاج decided to محتاج بعدها infinitive. people no longer live in that abandoned area. يبقى الناس لم يعودوا يعيشون في هذه المنطقة المهجورة. which of the following suffixes changes the noun guilt into an adjective؟ ايه هنا في كلمة اللي بتغير كلمة guilt إلى صفة؟ طبعا هي guilty فبنضيف لها الواي. we don't know for sure مش متأكدين what caused dinosaurs to disappear. ايه اللي خلى الديناصورز تختفي؟ We don't know for sure. مش متأكدين برضو what caused the disappearance. إيه اللي سبب اختفاء نفسه of dinosaurs. Dinosaurs disappeared. اختفت thousands of years ago من آلاف السنين. In this sentence الجملة دي كلمة disappeared is the antonym of عكس كلمة died out ماتت، ما هي برضو بمعنى disappeared. vanished اختفت برضو disappeared. appeared ظهرت ولا survived عاشت؟ طبعا إجابتنا هي survived. I can't overcome ما أقدرش إن أنا أتغلب على the feeling of A after the mistake I have made. بعد الخطأ الكبير جدا اللي أنا عملته. I can't overcome the feeling of guilt الشعور بالذنب. My grandfather used to a wool cloth القماش الصوف. يبقى كان متعود ينسج اللي هي weave. طبعا احنا قلنا قبل كده Oriental weavers اللي هم النساجون الشرقيون. To A is to find an answer to a problem. طبعا to solve. To be A is to have a relationship, to get married. طبعا to be engaged يبقى مخطوب. A is a mysterious man is a person who makes clothes اللي بيعمل ملابس by twisting wool together. يبقى النساج اللي هو weaver. A is a person in a book في كتاب، شخص في الكتاب، شخصية خيالية أو play مسرحية أو بالفيلم اللي هو الكاركتر الشخصية. To A means to become impossible to see. يبقى من الصعب جدا جدا إن أنت تشوف الشخص ده or find أو تجده. معنى كده إنه شخص اختفى يعني disappear. إيه هنا describe someone تصف شخص ما who has broken a rule واللي كسر قانون، خالف قانون or a law. يبقى معنى كده إنه شخص guilty مذنب. A is something that is difficult حاجة صعبة جدا to explain إن الواحد يشرحها or understand. mystery غموض. character شخصية. weaver النساج وبيش تيرنر القصة الشيقة. يبقى هنا إجابتنا هي mystery. إيه هنا is how quickly things seem to happen in a story اللي هي وقع الأحداث بتاعت القصة على طول كلمة pace. A is a book عبارة عن كتاب that is so exciting رائع جدا that you want to read it quickly عايز تقرأ بسرعة اللي هي بيش تيرنر. بيش تيرنر turn يعني يقلب، عايزة تقلب صفحة صفحة بسرعة معناها إنه كتاب أو قصة شيقة. A is the events هي الأحداث that form the main story of a book هي اللي بتكون القصة الرئيسية للكتاب أو كده اللي هو الموضوع نفسه اللي هو الثيم. When we have a problem all family members join in بيشتركوا join in مش join off ولا from ولا with. It's unusual to see you here wear this warm jacket in the summer. I find it unusual مش I hear it ولا I look it ولا I have it. I find it unusual أجد إنه من الصعب والغريب. The practice you do practice. A thief stole some things from our store. Don't misunderstand my advice. All I want is كل اللي أنا كنت عايزه هو إن you stay safe. Compared ولا comparing compares compare. طبعا compared في كايرو مقارنة بالقاهرة. أسوان is less crowded. The crime hasn't been solved yet. لم تحل حتى الآن. The crime hasn't been solved yet. Uncle Maher came our house to see if we need anything. Came to our house. Something has gone wrong with the car engine. It won't start. The stories he tells. آخر تمرين آخر 10 جمل هناخدهم النهاردة دي تمارين المتفوقين يا ريت نركز فيها شوية. What has happened is still a mystery. ما حدث لا يزال غامضا. I don't understand it. Karim is a lonely child, a lonely child, and a lone child. طبعا a lonely child. اوكي وبكده نكون خلصنا والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. باي باي.